I just had to do it, guys. I'm beginning to realize that balance is more important than the weight of the power head. Yeah, I just embarrassed myself. I don't have anything else to say other than, dang. Thinking that I'm going to discontinue uploading on my main YouTube channel. Welcome to the Okie Woodsman channel. I'm with my boys and we're going back to that property that's been doing some tree removals. And today we're going to be running 50cc chainsaws and we're bucking everything up on site. I did contemplate using the tractor, but for this size wood, I think it's just going to be better off doing it this way. Now there is going to be one major caveat, and there's one stem that is very, very dirty. I think the tree was pushed and it looks like it was dragged through the dirt. So we'll see how that goes. We're gonna be running the 550 XP and the ported 4910 from 307 Performance Saws, and I am excited. Not only that, but this 307 Performance Saws has always been run with semi-chisel, and well, it looked good then, but I expect that it might look quite a bit better now. So that's something to look forward to. I do have my 562. That hasn't been run in, it might be almost a year, to be honest with you. I don't think I've cut with it in a very long time. It's at least 6 months. Do you guys think there's gonna be metal in this tree?
Yep. I can already see a sign poking out of it.
There is a sign poking out of it. That's the first concern I have is that, but also, you know, man, all that dirt. The thing is that dirty wood is almost the first wood I think I need to cut, but I haven't looked at it real close in a little bit. I think I have a plan for it, because the main thing, guys, is that you don't drag the dirt through the wood. If you can eject the wood with the chips on the outfeed side, you can actually preserve your chain for quite a while, and that's certainly the goal.
It's a small tree,
but it's still going to be good.
Yeah, it's still good.
Do you guys know what kind of tree that even is?
That is a
It
looks like
So this is the tree we're going to go ahead and collect today. It's actually a little bit bigger here than I remember, but these saws will totally handle that. I really actually don't even know what kind of wood this is. I was just assuming it was oak. It's not a hackberry.
I know
I
it's not a
think
hackberry
it's like pecan or
like that's a pecan, but
there's no leaves on the trees, and I just don't know. Now, I was talking about the challenge. This is all dirty up here, and I have a way that I'm going to try to tackle that, but the main thing is I don't want to cut that right off the bat. We're going to start cutting, and then maybe it'll give us some hints. Look at this fantastic lineup. We've got nothing more than 20-inch bars here, and I think that's going to be just right. Now, the cool thing is this bad boy right here is very lightweight. That's going to be the star of the show today, I think, because, well, I just want to work it rather than just cut cookies. And so let's stop talking and get started. This is cold starts on all of these saws. Last night we were below freezing. It's probably about 38 degrees right now or so. Let's get going here. One thing I've got to check on this saw, and this is one disadvantage that this has over, well, a stock probably Echo 501 4910 and those Huskies, is this filter is going to be I'm pretty sure it's going to be trashed. Let's take a look. Now I'm going to share my thoughts here. Okay, this filter is actually not looking too bad. It's actually not bad at all, so I'm going to leave that on. I don't have the pre-filter on there, and I'm going to explain why I don't have the pre-filter. The pre-filter lets all the fine dust through, because that's not its purpose. Its purpose is to keep chips out. I'm less concerned about chips clogging the filter than I am fine dust. And so for me, the pre-filter is kind of just extra. Some people are gonna like them, some people aren't, but I think I'm gonna choose to run them without the pre-filter. Now another thing is this saw has a tendency when it starts up to run away, unlike those. So this is the difference between like an old school like Echo or Stihl, where the where when it's on fast idle or until it warms up, the chain wants to go. I want to contrast it to this 550 here, and I'm just talking about operational differences. This saw hasn't been started in a long time. Actually, I have started it, but it was, man, it could have been over 6 months ago for sure. We're gonna be rocking the Russ Willie or Gramp stick. His grandpa that's famously made these things popular. Either you love them or you hate them, but I do want my wood to be 16 inches. And you might ask why? It's because I want it 16 inches. And so I'm gonna be using this today. I actually did mean to mount a laser on one of these saws because I actually really like using them, but in haste I forgot to, and I'm not gonna go back home to do it. I also thought I didn't have a screwdriver with me, but I actually do have a flathead should this need to be adjusted. Let's see how easy this thing starts. It's gonna be glorious. This is first run on the Duke's bar, Duke's chain, discount code OKI10 at sawsalvage.co. This saw revs so hard and so fast, I've been kind of just letting it warm up a little bit, but we're gonna start bucking some wood. Things running great, everybody. Now, if this is pecan, all these little suckers everywhere are annoying along the trunk. They really are. Hope I didn't break something on here. I've never seen that much slack on a bar that fast. Man, this is a ripper for 50 cc's. It's insane. I really hope I don't regret taking this wood home. I actually don't know what it is. I thought it was pecan, but I don't think it is. I'm almost wondering if it's elm. It doesn't quite look like elm though. I might be in trouble, guys. Got a couple more bucks, still got fuel in it. Talk about a wild 50cc saw, everybody. That is crazy. This thing's almost out of fuel. I think we're gonna stop with this one because I've got a 550 I wanna run too. I just kinda wanna see how it feels like in this wood. Give us a moment and we'll be right back because we're gonna put some wood in the truck. Yeah, I think this is elm. The more I look at it, it's elm, which kind of stinks. Thankfully we're not splitting with by hand, because it wouldn't happen.
It would be impossible.
I would probably stop right now if this was elm and we had to split by hand. We just wouldn't do it. Still relying upon you in the comment section to tell us if I was wrong on my pecan thing. I'm pretty sure I'm wrong on pecan. Those Duke's chains were straight out of the box, and I think it was cutting really well. What I want to do here is I want this to settle so I can undercut from the bottom side on every one of these cuts. And let me tell you, when I make a series of shorts, people are going to wonder why I'm undercutting on every single one, and it's going to be because there is a big fat chunk of mud on the top of that thing. And before I start running this beautiful machine, remember, all the best chainsaws are available at sawsuppliers.com. Using my discount code OKI10, you're gonna find every best saw on there. This is the 550. It's been sitting for a bit. Let's get it going. If I leave that in, that might get some comments. So this is the deal. If I don't put it in, I'm not exactly being honest about my experience, and I'm editing just to show only my successes. But if I put it in, I'm gonna get ripped.
Did you get metal in it?
No, when I bound it up doing that undercut for no reason, I was just horsing around. I just wanted to bore with the chain and see what it felt like. And I was kind of wondering, I mean, that's a lot of weight hanging on there. I kind of figured it would bind the bar, but I just figured I'd try, just for the heck of it. I just did it just because it was kind of fun. I don't know. Anyway, let's get this going again. Now that one was me not paying attention. I thought I had a little bit longer. I've decided that little stem right there with all that dirt in it, I'm not going to cut that because it's not worth getting into the dirt for that small of wood, but I will cut this. I'm beginning to wonder whether or not this wood was even worth coming and getting, because if this is all elm, I mean, I'm going to be able to split it, but what do you guys think about elm? Okay, let's take a look at this chain too. I've been bucking around some dirt. Let's see how we're doing. Like I mentioned earlier, as long as you're not dragging the chain, the dirt through the wood, generally the chain will stay pretty good. Now this is the chain that you saw me use on that big wide oak. I have not sharpened it, I have not touched it up. And so this thing's doing good. I checked it before we started. There was maybe 1 or 2 bruised teeth, and they had just the edge knocked off, but that's enough to be dull. But we're still looking pretty good. This is weight sitting on here. So, but what I'm gonna do, I don't know what the stump's gonna do, guys. This is the interesting thing about stumps. This thing could try to sit up, but it also might lean hard, or it even could be, it actually could even set like this for a while until it decides to sit up, but we'll just find out. I want to continue to cut with this 550, but I want to actually go to the 562 since I have a suspended piece here, and I just haven't ran it in a while, and I just want to run it. So let's see what it does.
Should I put it on choke?
Yeah, choke it like it's cold.
Okay.
actually have run this saw, and it was just for some cut tests. It hasn't worked, and it's not even really going to work today. This is a beautiful saw. What the heck? Dang it. I cut my post off, guys. Wow. We're going to just use a wedge on this last one, guys. Oh, that's a 562. I want to run the 550 again, guys. That's what this is. We're here for, is running 50cc saws. I'm formulating my opinion about them. Holy cow, guys. So, we're here not to show perfect, pristine cutting, but I wanted to get some firewood. I wanted to come work with my boys. I wanted to try the Duke's bar and chain on that 4910. I think they feel good. I am going to say I would like to have a little bit of a lighter setup on there. That saw is so small on the back. I'm almost wondering if I want an 18-inch light bar on this instead. And it's not because this saw can't handle it. It's just that the body is so darn small back here. The less weight, the better up front. This saw is very, very powerful. Of course, just because it's powerful doesn't mean you need a bar to match the power. That's a big misconception. Now this saw is not going to be running a 24 or 28. So I'm almost wondering if I would prefer like an 18-inch setup, like an 18-inch VersaCut. You'd be cutting a lot of weight off of the front. The Duke's chains are good, guys. I mean, this one right here, we cut through some dirt with it on the 550. You know, I mean, methodically, we didn't just go cutting through dirt, but we had to hit some dirt a little bit. Anyway, so, I mean, they're holding up good. They cut nicely. They sharpen nicely. But with this saw right here, it does feel very, very, very nose heavy. And so just because the body is light, you really need balance. I'm beginning to realize that balance is more important than the weight of the power head. If you can understand that, imagine if you had an 80cc saw that they could get down to 10 pounds, a 32-inch light bar, even if it could pull it nicely, it would just feel wrong on it. And so like a 32-inch light bar on a 70cc saw feels really good because it kind of balances, right? So I'm finding that the balance on this saw is not quite right. This 4910 ran very, very well. I am going to say that the docile nature of the 550, I just like running this saw a little bit more. It is a bit smoother than this saw here, but that doesn't take away from what Caleb did by building this machine. And this is a great saw. A lot of you decide to get these ported. And when you choose your bar length, it's just my opinion that longer isn't better on this machine. That's all it's to it. It has plenty of power to pull it. So to explain myself better when it comes down to weight and the weight of the body, it really has to do with balance. I'm convinced that balance is one of the most important things. So though this saw is incredibly light, but yet as powerful or more powerful than my 562 XP, what happens is you hang a heavy bar off the front, you're just fighting the whole time. And so I actually found this saw to be more comfortable to use. See that right there? I'm wondering, did I waste my time? Elm is not my favorite wood. I have a history with elm, and elm is the reason why I bought my very first chainsaw. And no, it wasn't to buck it up. We put it on the trailer and in the truck. My wife and I, a long time ago, I bucked it up with a bow saw from Harbor Freight. And then I tried to split it, guys. I had wedges, I had them all, and I knew I was in trouble when I couldn't even get the wedges to stick. I couldn't get an axe to stick. It was just bouncing off the wood. And I am a little bit big right now, but I was in better shape. I was stronger then. I was working outside. The reality is it was just a terrible experience. I ended up, picture the fibers running this way. I ended up cutting down this way, probably 80% of the way through the wood, and then put my wedge in there and pounded on it more than you would have to pound on white oak, clean, straight white oak. And it took a little bit, but then it popped. Guys, it was chainsaw wood. It was terrible. Now I have an excellent splitter. I ought to be able to take care of it, but it doesn't split nice. It doesn't split clean. And I know it'll burn, but I kind of hate that, guys. I'm really wondering, why does elm exist? Why does it exist? Anyway, now, I also kind of embarrassed myself a few times. I did, more than once. Now, I just embarrassed myself. I don't have anything else to say other than dang, because a couple of those things, it could have been avoided. Guys, the stringier the wood is, the stringier the bark, the more the wood holds on, it is easier to bind. Now at the same time, I have nobody to blame but myself, but I did pinch far too many times, guys. I did that big oak over there and didn't have to get myself out with another saw a single time, guys. I think I did have one where it was getting tight. I just put a wedge in there, tapped it lightly with a piece of pipe, and I was out. I don't know, man. You weren't here necessarily to watch the most pristine of cutting. I hope it was enjoyable in terms of cutting. I wanted to get these chains into the wood, these saws into the wood. Guys, I didn't even run a full tank through that 4910. It's pretty low, but we didn't run that out. The 550's probably got... it's got over half. It's absolutely incredible how much wood you can cut on a couple tanks of gas in a 50cc Pro saw that's cutting well. It is the end of 2025, and I cannot believe it. Thank you for all of the support. We're about to hit 75,000 on Facebook. And actually, this is going to be the perfect time to announce this first. I'm thinking that I'm going to discontinue uploading short form videos on my main YouTube channel. I might severely reduce it, but I might completely stop altogether. And the reason for that is those two audiences don't mesh very well. I know there's some of you that like to watch them, but the long form people don't necessarily go to the short forms, and the short form people don't necessarily go to the long form. And I did get a comment recently. Actually, I'm just going to say it. It's Iffy Kidman. He asked, hey, are we going to see anything new? Well, he was watching my short forms, and my short forms are always produced after my long forms. And the reason why that's the case is because I don't shoot short form specific video primarily. Every so often I do. And the thing is, I get a lot of short form guys. I get a lot of views out of the content I've already done. And so, yes, you may have watched that long form video all the way through, and I appreciate that. But that short form audience, not all of you actually watched the short forms. And so I put that out because they're like individual little clips, stories, little successes, little failures, little nice composition and so forth. And guys, it is really good on Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram. So I think, like what I said, is I'm going to go ahead and remove that off the main channel on YouTube, but I am contemplating doing it on maybe like an Okie Woodsman, like a secondary channel that is short specific. You wouldn't find any long form on there, or maybe it would just be vertical format. I don't know. I'm kind of waiting through that, guys. It's the very beginning of December of 2025. You guys have come in tremendously large with all of my affiliate links, guys. I'm not going to go ahead and pitch them all right here. They're always down below. If you've been here a long time, you know the stuff that we have, and so many of you have purchased, and that is the reason why we were able to go to Bunyan. That is the reason why we have the tractor, and we have, I believe, some very big news at the house. We are actively pursuing bids and quotes on dirt work, on buildings, and so forth. I want to develop the property. That's just my goal. My goal is to develop the property, and that's going to be for multiple reasons, guys. Developing our skills as a family, myself and the young boys, and I'd be lying if I said it was primarily for me. It is actually primarily to hopefully help the kids to gain skills in the long run. That's very important to me. We homeschool those kids, and it's just kind of like just very critical. We're trying to make headway in that way. We don't know. I almost am hesitant to even mention it right now because there's no guarantee that all this is that it's gonna come about. Okay, there's no guarantee, but I'm trying my best to make this happen. And also, I also believe that I don't want to force things. I don't believe in forcing certain things because we're going into this with prayer, with lots of thought. It's quite an investment, and so it's one of those things like if we have to force and finagle our way in, we then have to assess whether or not it's the right thing. It doesn't mean that we don't want to take risks and so forth. It's just that I want to be wise with our resources. I just want to say thank you for coming in big, supporting the channel overall. Thank you for watching the Okie Woodsman channel, and we will see you on the next one. I've got a tiny bit more fuel. I just had to do it, guys. I just had to do it.